totally safe. But it being that you give people opportunities that the system or the equation doesn't want, because in the end they don't act the way the equation wants. They act by paying money. So then you don't have that sympathetic, empathetic role of the human saying, oh, well, I feel your pain. I have 3 kids. I've lost my house. My husband cheated on me. My wife cheated on me. So, yeah, let me give you this loan because I feel you're going to be responsible because, I've been through the same thing and I'm responsible. So you're going to do the same thing. That's what's taken out of the equation.
Right. Exactly. And it's like you've taken humanity out of the equation.
Yes, bingo. Thank you, boo. That's why I love talking to you. There you go. There
You
you
know.
go.
So then we're acting like computers,
Computers.
because then we're looking at what the computers say and then we say sorry
But we do that, and it's easier
because
for
we
it to
have
give
to,
us
because that's what we're told that we got to do. But
exactly,
we're
and
wrong.
we don't have
We're
that.
it's sort of like we're letting AI take over right now when we do that.
Yes,
You know,
100.
so we at the bank and we're putting in these fees, knowing um that is just bullshit to oppress people. But we
So
might not even know that it's bullshit to oppress people, but we are oppressing
not
people.
just to oppress people, but to concede to the system that oppresses people. Because just because you're being oppressed is one thing, but when you could force people to concede to the oppression based on the rules and guidelines that are in place, it's a powerful tool because you could never because the people that are conceding and the people that are down below could never get out of that.
Right.
You could never
So it's
get out
like
of it.
you're using us as computers to hold each other down. So it's like, okay, this doesn't so you saying you okay, as a human being, who's a cop? The cop is acting like a robot,
What?
because he's acting like a robot.
What?
And it's like, okay, he gets a message online, go pick up this person.
I'm gonna go pick up this person.
I'm
This
going
is
to
what
go
I'm
pick
going
up
to
this
do.
person. He is a dangerous person. Okay, dangerous.
Jon Snow is a dangerous person. I must retain him at any cost, even at the death of anybody around me.
Exactly. I have to get him. You've been turned into a Terminator. You don't even know the
Thank you.
person
That's what I'm saying.
at
That's
all. Like, you don't know the person at all. So the person, it
that's what
could
I'm
be
talking
just
about.
straight up Martin Luther King.
They could be
You
your
know what I'm
best
saying?
friend.
And you're, I must get him.
I must get him. He is bad.
You
And
know?
that's a nigga you grew up with all your
Exactly.
life.
Like, I'm sorry I have to do this. Put your hands behind your back. But bro,
but,
I
but
you don't remember?
and I can tell
I
you,
introduced you to your wife.
and I will not
Put
get in
your
trouble for
hands
doing it.
behind your back.
And I will not get in trouble for killing you if I have to.
Do not resist. So the whole thing is they totally
That's hilarious.
acting like a robot.
Terminators, robots. Yeah. So like,
So,
yeah.
so you're getting a
So let me pick
call,
up your
and then
thoughts
that
there.
call comes from another call. I mean, it comes from a computer rules and regulation. That
Yeah,
so
the rules regulations already set. They set
Right,
all
but do we don't
it's
understand those rules and regulations? Those are, like, for example, AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence isn't this computer. Artificial intelligence is also the Constitution.
no.
It's also, wait, listen. Let me say this. It's also the Bible.
Hold on.
It's
I'm
also,
telling you, I agree with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, dog. The Constitution is all. I mean, not the
It
Constitution. Artificial intelligence is all the inclusion of the Bible, law codes, and everything
right,
placed on a platform
right,
that will not be questioned by
right.
human bias based on
Exactly.
sympathetic or empathetic experiences. So now these things come up. The computer, the artificial intelligence. Stop saying computer because computer sounds old, like fucking 1980.
Ah,
Artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence says, wait a minute. but he broke the law. She broke the law. This is the guideline for you breaking the law. This is how it needs to be. But it was a petty crime.
Right.
The law gives you these rules and regulations. So this is has to
And
be
when this number is exceeded, like, so, for example, grand theft or grand arson, or grand theft or what, grand larceny, all of that, it's all based on a number. So once you exceed a certain number, you could say, okay, this is past $500, so this is $523. Now that is changed from one crime to the next crime up.
One crime to a more severe,
to a more severe crime and a more punishable crime, because the number went up by a certain little bit.
Significantly. So then you go from 5 years in jail mandatory to 20 years in jail
right.
mandatory for some bullshit for $3.
Exactly. So these are, and then the judges are succumbing to artificial intelligence by saying, okay, yes, they now they got a rule to say mandatory time. Mandatory time is artificial intelligence.
Yeah, but that's artificial intelligence, but it's not. That artificial intelligence has been around.
Right.
Since the inception of documents.
Exactly. That's what we don't get. This shit ain't new. This is not new. All they did was put the they made the artificial intelligence more efficient, and that's just basically it in the computer. But in reality, the artificial intelligence has been here all this time, because you're writing shit down like our history. It's artificial information. So we're getting artificial intelligence because it's incorrect intelligence.
Of course, because through the victor is how history is written.
Right. So then all of this. So when you tell,
it's artificial because the documentation, let me clarify what we're saying and what you're saying and what I'm saying. The idea that you could write it down on paper and reference it for in the future, go back to the past from a piece of paper you wrote down. That's artificial intelligence, because that's saying that happened in the past. This is how it's going to happen in the future based on this situation.
Right.
That you could read from in the past.
Right.
By artificial intelligence. And so
right.
I'm going to react in the future in this situation that I've never experienced before in my life because of what I read before.
Right.
It's written down on documentation.
Right.
That's what you're talking about. That's so since the inception of writing and remembering history, you have an artificial intelligence being built.
That's correct. And that's amazing.
That's what I'm going to, and that's how I feel about that shit. I mean, knowing your history makes you not repeat the history, but seeming like knowing your history makes you repeat the history even harder.
Ooh, now you preaching it. That is so true.
Even harder.
That is true.
It seems like knowing it.
That is so true.
So we fucked up fucking you over last time like this, so we gonna fuck you up like that this time, because I know this didn't work last time, so I'm gonna do it to you like this time.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's artificial intelligence, because that is your knowledge from something that you never experienced.
Exactly.
And you're using that information for your benefit now, and your population is still not acting accordingly because the timelines are different, and the lifestyles are all different. They're similar, but they're still different. You have people who are more prominent, people who have more power. I mean, think about what's going on in the United States. We're still 14% of the fucking population in this country, right? But you see how much problems 14% of the population plus 1, plus 2, because you see there was a bunch of crackers and a bunch of Hispanics out there. How much force you could put out there and put on these crackers with this protesting? It wasn't just niggas. They tried to say it was just niggas. When you watch the videos, it was everybody.
Everybody. Look, everybody.
Fuck y'all, and you know it. That's why the whole tone has changed.
Yeah.
Because actually, everybody saw everybody out there clowning.
Exactly. So that's the whole point. Once we a lot of times are just totally fed fake ass information on the news. Okay, it's fake. I have heard about people paying people to write and stuff like that. You heard about that?
Oh yeah, I have it on my YouTube. I I've seen people paying to ride. I've seen people passing out bricks. I've seen signs and fucking targets and certain areas for people to do shit. So yeah, I've seen it. These are anarchists, but these are also people that understand what's going on and trying to use it for their advantage.
But then,
so this whole idea
yeah.
of AI in this scenario, the AI is behind. You want to know why the AI is behind in this scenario? Because this is a new equation that I don't think the AI has ever seen.
And that's the whole point. It did, and the whole thing is all the AI can do, because see, this is all pre-planned. When it's crazy because it's people from 1,000 years ago who their very goal in their heart and mind was to control people 1,000 years later, and to have their children being the ones to do it, and their family.
But their children don't understand that. That's the thing too. Their children, they're kind of like, the children are confused. They're like, why are we doing this now? Some of the children are like,
but see, that's the whole point. That's the 1% that we don't be realizing. Oh yeah, my friend calling me. I do have to answer the phone. She's not calling me right now, but I do got to call her back in a little bit. What was I saying?
You were saying that's the 1%.
Oh yeah, the 1%, the families, the ones that's been planning, practicing, doing all this. The architect. That's really the 1%. It's the architect who wrote all this shit down a long time ago and trained people. The Willie Lynch letter.
I love that term. So the 1% are the architects. I love that. That's sweet. That's juicy. That's tight right there. That's actually a focal point. That's actually a group. You know, like they're the architects. These are the ones that created this and have it in perpetual motion. That you think you know what you're dealing with now, but they have already planned it almost to the end.
Right, and they planned it to the end, and that's the whole point. But what did the architect say? He said every so often it's always these people who are thinking different and waking up and doing all of that, and that's the problem. We tried to wipe those people out 100%, but we can't in the Matrix because to make the Matrix work, you got to have some type of illusion of freedom to make this shit work. Right. Woo!
You know what? Listen, what I'm saying right here. That brings me to another point of what I was thinking about over the last couple of days. Whenever we have these uprisings, see, every time we have these little situations in the United States where they all uptight and shit and want to sit there and riot and shit, they always seem to they always make concessions. Let's be honest with that. There's always concessions, right? But the concessions are always things that should have been conceded from the inception of civil rights. So the idea that you could concede the idea of taking away the Confederate flag from NASCAR, or in 2016, because we're in 2020, 2017, 2016, when the whole fight of removing Confederate statues and Confederate names from streets and names, these are strategic points that these crackers knew would have to be conceded. But they do that and they concede these little strategic points.
Exactly.
The masses
exactly. It shut you up. Okay. It's like, okay.
It's simple. These are simple. They always knew they would have to concede these things. I'm sorry, Star. Let me finish. I'm really serious.
Yeah, you go ahead.
They always knew they would have to concede them. But the idea that they're so readily there and available to be looked upon and saying, these things should have been gone from jump.
Exactly.
But you say these are cultural, these are history things. But when a nigga goes to a football game and who's playing the game, who you watch and enjoy and live vicariously through his accomplishments, because he could jump high, run fast, and shit people in the way that you wish you could do. And so when he kneels in the game, you want to chastise him and make him a villain. But yet and still, I have to look at a Confederate flag that stands for my oppression, my disposition, my disdain, my non-appreciativeness of my contribution to America.
Exactly.
And now in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
Y'all telling me, oh, we getting rid of the Confederate flag from NASCAR and that's cool. Fuck y'all, black y'all sons of bitches. That should have been gone a long time ago. That's not a cool thing. Fuck y'all bitches.
Yeah, and then when you talking about you're gonna put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, which I haven't even seen it yet. You said you was gonna do that in 2020, but you got you got an ugly ass bitch. Excuse my language. A ugly ass picture of her supposed to be going on the dollar bill. Now that's so fucking disrespectful. Yes, she was a slave. Yes, y'all fucking abused her, but you're gonna put her on there like that?
Yeah, y'all could make a
Come on now, no, just you can do better than that.
You are the one that pointed it out to me. Every time they portray us in a lack of power. Every time they show you that niggas ain't shit. When you watch the news, when you read stories, when you look at Harriet Tubman and putting her on currency, they show you ain't shit. I mean, they acknowledge you. Thank you.
Exactly.
But as they acknowledge you, they're like, well, you there, but you still ain't shit.
Right. You know, it's like, and they show us too, like, look, they show us shit on a whole that shows that we can't win, but we really did try.
Yeah.
They like to show us that. So you say, you know what? This was a good movie, but he did end up dead at the end. Yeah, it was a good. He really did try to win this, but yeah, they killed him. She really did do a lot for people. He did. She did. So then it lets people know, look, yeah, you can do a lot for people if you want. You're gonna be dead. Just a minute. It means you gonna be dead. Yeah. I'm supposed to be calling my friend back. This is actually going on YouTube. I'm gonna leave your name off because you cussing and saying all type of extra stuff. But I'm gonna put it on YouTube.
But the shit I'm saying is real though.
I know, but I don't want to put your name on there because you're saying crackers and all types of stuff like that. And I know you don't mean it like, you know, I know what you mean, but you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't paying attention. Don't. This is who I am. But the conversation is serious, dog. And it's people need to hear that shit.
Yes. And as far as us being complicit, you know, saying we don't realize we're part of the problem. Sometimes you gotta wake up and say, what am I doing that ignores humanity when I see it in my face and press a button and say, "Floop, you got to go."
You know what it is? We're conditioned.
Exactly. Exactly.
Life experiences. We've been conditioned from birth to look at shit and be like, oh well, it ain't me. Let me keep on moving.
Exactly. You look so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just look. He's on my YouTube. You know, he's on my Messenger, and we having this conversation. It's going on YouTube. And he just put me on video, and I'm just not saying it, but he looking good now. Ooh. But anyway, I got 2 people calling me. One of them actually need my help.
All right, let you go. I heard you had people call you from the phone.
Yeah.
This was fun.
It was fun. Thank you so much. You go. I'm gonna end up when I do post it. I'm gonna send you the YouTube thing, and I'm gonna put it in Facebook.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. But we got more to talk about, so we're gonna have to do a part 2, 3, and 4. They're gonna be about 20 minutes apiece. All right.
You just got a little part of what I've been thinking.
I know that you know. Come on now. All right then. I'll see you later. Love you.
Bye.